So it's 2:12 right now, 2:12 in the morning. Last night in Bali. Tomorrow we jump on a plane and fly to Phuket, Thailand. So should be pretty epic. But I have no idea what's in Thailand, but I guess we're gonna go find out. We just touched down in Thailand late last night. Our flight got in at like 9 p.m. So me and Mason, we spent one night in a hotel right by the airport on the beach. Pretty nice place, but we pretty much just went to bed, woke up, had breakfast, and then got in a car to come to our villa. We just arrived at the Thailand villa, and this place is absolutely insane. We just went on a little excursion to get us some motorbikes. Picked me up this sweet ride. Pretty gorgeous. 160cc, absolutely rips. Mason picked himself up this guy, same model, literally laid the thing down within 5 minutes of driving it. Didn't get that on video, but I guess women can't drive.
All this money on the floor, 10 bucks, throw it up, watch how I do it. Make a drop to a toast, bend it up, pick it up real slow. I do it, baby, do it. All that work, ice like a jacuzzi in my back, call me 06.
It's 6:39 p.m. August 1st, first night here in the Thailand villa, and it's time to lock in. We really gotta lock in right now. Bali was a ton of fun. We were there for a full month, but it was not as productive as it needed to be. It was a lot of exploring, a lot of just hanging out. You know, we got a little bit of work done, but we took a pretty big hit in revenue for the agency. It wasn't anything crazy, but it was about $15,000. So we finished out the month of July with just over $45,000 in revenue. It's honestly better than I thought it was gonna be, considering how little I was actually working. It kind of goes to show, like, I guess after like, you know, almost 2 years of like grinding and building, like I've actually set something up that, you know, can like make me pretty good, you know, bring in a pretty good income for myself without me having to like constantly like pour my heart and soul into it 24/7, because sometimes it feels like that. Sometimes it feels like it's just like nothing is moving and you're working 10, 12 hour days, and you're just not really like making the progress that you want to. But right now I'm definitely reaping the rewards of, you know, the past 6 months, the past year of just like grinding and building. And so first night, locking in, got to get a whole bunch of shit done. So got a few sales calls with the team and all of that. Yeah, should be a good time.
All this money on the floor, 10 bucks, throw it up, watch how I do it. Make a drop to a toast, bend it up, pick it up real slow.
So I'm about to hop on a Zoom call with Jay Kinder. He's one of the biggest recruiters at EXP, and he built his whole business around the EXP downline rev share model, and he's running like a massive operation. And I'm about to hop on a Zoom call with him and one of my clients to talk about a potential collaboration. I have no idea what this looks like, what it could mean. Like honestly, I just have no clue. So we're gonna be jumping on this call. Oh, I actually got to bounce right now. So or 700,000, not bad, not a bad listing.
Yeah, it's out on this number, so it's in the, you know, so it takes some salesmanship to help us
100%.
understand what's most important.
Okay, well, I was supposed to hop on with Jay Kinder and discuss some business and real estate stuff, but I guess he ended up getting stuck in like a Zoom call or something. So, you know, get yourself some clients like that who, that's one of my clients, one of the first clients that I ever signed. So get yourself some clients like that who you can just kind of hop on a call and chill and talk about life with. You know, it doesn't always need to be so serious. So yeah, it's that's kind of the first full day in Thailand. Probably gonna I mean, I guess I have a few more calls I got to jump on with the team and everything. So gonna knock out a few meetings over the next couple hours, take a shower and get to bed, and we'll and then I guess it's the weekend, so probably gonna get out and explore.
I just bought my bitch a bitch. Spending all this money like it's free to me. That shit fall off trees to me. We ain't even stressed, we the new kings and sheiks. We done made a mess, they gon' have to clean for weeks. All this money on the floor. 10 racks, throw it up, watch how I do it. Make a drop to a toast. Bend it up, pick it up real slow. Do it, baby, do it. Off that work, ice like a jacuzzi. In my back, call me 06 Gucci. What's happening? Tryna make a movie. Do it, do it. She got the little fast, she finna lose it. Fuck her from the back, going stupid. Pulling out the track, she gotta glue it. Fuck her like a lover.
It's August 19th. It's about 1 a.m. right now. I finished up all my meetings. I didn't really have a lot of them. I had like 2 or 3 short calls just with my team. And we've been in Thailand for, I guess, exactly 19 days now. We got here on the 1st. Honestly, I don't really have an excuse for not having like filmed a shit ton of content or anything. I really haven't been working that much, to be honest. I've kind of just been doing a ton of research and stuff for some future projects that are up in the pipeline. I cannot talk about them yet, which is like annoying because I really want to make videos about the project that I'm working on right now because it's super sick. But unfortunately, can't really share the details until some things are finalized. But I guess what I can talk to you about now is that specifically and how I have set my business up in a position that allows me to work no more than 2-3 hours a day. Realistically, it's closer to 2, sometimes even 1 hour a day on my business, and still generate $40,000 to $60,000 every single month. But the way that I was able to set my business up like this, so I don't have to work like 8 hours, 10 hours still, hopping on client calls and things like that, is because I brought my day ones with me on this journey. And that's something that a lot of guys in my position don't have, is it's really, really difficult to attract like high quality, like A player talent when you are like only worth so much at the end of the day. Like at the end of the day, my business is still pretty small. We do like $50,000 to $60,000 a month in revenue. Best we've ever done was just under 62,000 in revenue, which is great. But I mean, the A players, the people who you really want on your team, the top tier closers, the best CSMs, like the people who you really, 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 need on your team in order to keep your business like pumping, those people are so expensive, and they're also like already working on bigger projects most of the time. Most of them are running their own businesses. Like you want that level of talent, but most of the time those people are already involved in bigger projects. And so what I did very, very early on was, find the people that were like in my life, in my personal life, who, were interested in joining like the journey. A lot of people say like, don't talk about your dreams, don't talk about your plans, don't talk about what you're working on, this and that, otherwise it won't come true. And I think that's kind of stupid. Honestly, I think you should talk to everybody about what you're working on, even if you're still at 0. Like talk about your plans, get hyped up about it, talk about it all the time, share it with the world, tell your parents, tell your friends, talk about it online. That's something I wish I did a lot more of, was talk about it online. I only started posting content about what I was working on, beginning of or end of last year or whatever. And that was already when we passed like I think we were at like, $18,000 a month. And I really wish I had shown a lot more of like that early grind, because like that's the stuff that most people need to see in order to like see that it's possible. Like once you break past a certain point, it's like, oh, well, it's hard to kind of fill in the gaps there. And so realistically, again, like I said, what I'm here to talk about right now is how I'm able to have this thing set up to the point where I don't have to be hopping on these meetings and stuff. We've worked with probably over 100 clients at this point. We've got a shit ton of active clients right now. We've got people in the pipeline. We've got full days booked of sales calls, and I don't have to take those calls. I don't have to talk to the clients. I don't have to be involved. All I have to do is talk to my key players, who are 1, my brother, and 2, one of my best friends that I grew up with, that I've known since he was like, whatever, 3, 4, 5 years old or some shit. And so the point that I was making earlier is like talking about this stuff openly is what that did was it kind of brought people into my circle. Like I had a lot of friends who never like really asked questions or anything about what I was doing. Like it kind of got to that point where like you start cutting people off, not even doing it on purpose, but you just don't really like the people that you would hang out with every single day in high school or college or whatever. Like you just stop talking to people as much because you're fucking grinding. You're working like 10, 12 hours a day and you don't want to go out on weekends because you're trying to build go high level automations and shit. And you've got client calls all day and like you can't go out in the middle of a Tuesday afternoon because you've got check-in calls and sales calls and all this nonsense. But there are going to be people in your life, hopefully, who are kind of on that same wavelength as you, who are wanting to grind and like wanting to build and stuff. And if you can kind of catch the beginning of that wave and then people want to like latch onto that, you know, the more you talk about it, the more groups that you're in, the more people are going to like want to kind of gravitate towards you and be a part of what you're working on. And so what I was able to do was take 2 people who had no skills at all, like didn't in like online business or anything, but they wanted to make money online. They wanted to go remote. Last month, my brother, he's 18 years old, came to Bali with me, spent the entire month there. He's able to do that because he works online. He's able to do that because he makes money online. My CSM, my head of fulfillment, he works with all of my clients. He works with my media buyers. He's literally like the head of product of my entire company right now. Like he's traveling the world solo right now. He's in Tulum, Mexico. It's like I was able to create a little bit of an opportunity for these people to be able to like jump on this make money online thing so that they can travel and, you know, not have like bosses and shit and like have to go flip burgers or whatever, or like Uber or DoorDash and shit. Like that sucks. And so like people kind of like people want to be a part of that. People obviously want to be able to like do this stuff. And so if you can like kind of kickstart it and get it going and then like attract a couple of people early on, like that's so helpful. Like one of the guys that I'm traveling with right now, like he has to do so much of his work on his own, like client work, check-in calls, sales calls. He has to do so much stuff, but because all of his team, most of his team is like VAs and stuff. They're people who they just work for him. Like they're not bought in on the vision. They're not like in on like working together and building and stuff. Like they don't, you know, go above and beyond in the same way that like when you have a couple of pretty competent individuals who you can like trust with your systems and stuff and get them trained up to the point where like they can just handle things. You know, the alternative is just like, you know, going and paying a ton of money, but for somebody, but even with that, like you don't have that same level of like dedication unless your project is something that's like super inspiring. Like one thing that happened yesterday, it was Alex Hormozi's book launch, and he had his new CEO of acquisition.com on, the guy who, the founder of real estate brokerage, Real, that's literally just what it's called. He has made billions of dollars. He sold his company for over $1 billion, and now he's like working for acquisition.com. He like gave up being like his own, you know, business owner and has like become a part of this one because he felt like that was like more important than whatever he was doing. And so if you can kind of create that same environment around other people where they're like, I'm willing to like hold off like doing whatever I'm doing because I can like learn and get skills and stuff by like hopping on this boat while this is going, just kind of ride this wave until it's like time to switch to my own thing. Like I've had people that have worked on my team that have like been here for a few months, you know, and then left and then like gone on to do other things, and that's fine too. But the point is, if you can create an environment where people can learn and grow, and you can get people in there and then you can like keep them in there, then you can get people to like, you know, run your business for you essentially, and with you, right? And you can have those key players that you can really lean on. Like these are like my business partners at this point, and so I can trust them with the clients. I can trust them with, you know, acquisition. Like I can trust them with a lot of these huge parts of the business so that I can focus on other things. I can focus on other projects and stuff. I don't have to be involved every single second of every single day, because that's what it felt like for a long time. There was a point where I was just like, Slack is just pinging all day, all night long, and you're just like, you're so stressed out. Like I remember coming home from the gym one time at like 6 a.m. or like 6:30, whatever. Like coming home from the gym super early in the morning, and I was so freaking overwhelmed with just like shit that was going on. My calendar was packed. I had like 25 meetings that day, and I just gotten back from the gym. I got like horrible sleep the night before. I get back from the gym, I go into my bathroom, whatever. I got out of the sauna, so I'm sweaty as hell. I get into the bathroom, I turn the shower on, I go in the shower, and I just started fucking crying because I was like, oh my God, like I don't want to take all of these freaking calls. Like this is so ass. Like I started this business, grew it to like 10K a month. That's not even good. That's another thing is like when you get to 10K a month, you think it's going to be something special. You think like that's like a big deal. It's not. Like that's newsflash. If you're running a social media marketing agency and you get to 10K a month, what that really means is you're maybe taking home like $2,000 or $3,000 because your overhead is just too much and you're paying for all these softwares and you're trying to scale and you're just reinvesting everything back in the business. So don't think that that's like lavish or anything. Like the point in the business where my life actually started to change and like I could really see it. I was like, oh shit, this is awesome. Like this is, I've got a pretty good amount of freedom now, is when I started pulling like $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 a month in profit, like take home. That's where it starts to feel like you have like a lot of freedom, which is nice. But when you're in those first like 6 months, I mean, some people do it so fast. For me, it took like a year before I started to like actually make some decent money with this thing. But those first 6 months, like you're just grinding, you're sending DMs on your own, you're taking sales calls on your own, you're dealing with all your client communications, like you're getting text messages at 9 p.m. and you're just responding to that shit because you don't know how to set boundaries. And it's just like, it sucks the absolute life out of you. It's good, everyone should go through it because you learn so much, but it is so draining. And so when you can have a couple of people on your team and you can start to offload some of these things, and you start to like see like it's messy at first when you start outsourcing some of the big stuff, but once they start to like get good at it, it's like, damn, you can actually like, it's that click when you realize like, oh, this is what building businesses is about. Like it's about the leverage. It's about pulling those levers where, you know, every time you pull a new lever, it's like, okay, cool, got that off my calendar, got this off my calendar. Like you're making these moves to buy your time back. It's like, how can I make it? Like, this is the whole point of it, is like, you start making money, you pour all your time, every single free second you have, into making money. You're trading all your time for money. And then when you start making money, you start buying back your time with that money by putting people and systems and tools and stuff in place. And it's so cool to see it like kind of multiply as your hour just becomes worth more and more and more and more and more. And you get to the point where you're like able to turn things down. You turn money down because it's not worth more than the time you're going to have to spend on that thing. And so it's cool to just see like your value increase over time as you grow. But yeah, that was a bit of a ramble. Not really sure what the key takeaway is, but I guess if you want to build a business that not only makes you money, but gives you the freedom to travel, to enjoy life, and like gives you the things that you kind of like thought about when you first started, you thought you were pushing towards, and then you like kind of started moving and you're like, fuck, this is sucking my life out of me. If you want to build the thing that you originally set out to build, like you gotta learn how to like bring people into your system. Like you gotta learn how to like network a little bit and like bring people into your ecosystem and have them want to be a part of it enough to jump on board and like help you offload some of those big things. Because it's easy to hire VAs, it's easy to find people. You know, there are people all around the world who, if you're paying $3, $4, $5 an hour, they're ecstatic. Like that's a great wage for their country. Like you can like support their entire family with that, and that's huge. But when you start needing to hire like North American sales reps and you know, support team and client success managers, and you know, the things that, you know, when you need like that local talent and stuff, like when you have to start attracting those people in, and you can get like that core team that's just like there supporting you, like building with you, and especially if you can get them early on, like that's so huge, because it just becomes such like high leverage later on and allows you to just focus on whatever it is that you're like actually most passionate about in the business. So do that. Find people, find competent people who can help you get your time back, who you can trade your money for time with, and who like want to be a part of your shit and like get the benefits of being able to like be in Thailand and work from your laptop. All right, well, this is it. Last night in Thailand, I'm flying back to the States. I guess kind of first thing in the morning. I gotta drive to the airport at like 9 a.m. and then my flight's around noon. It's gonna be 24 hours again on the airplanes, and then we're gonna be back in Austin for a while. So I actually have like an actual lease, like 12-month lease starting in Austin. It started about a week ago. And so I'm gonna be locking in there for a while. I'll probably do some traveling and stuff, you know, every couple of months here and there, but it's gonna be just 12 months of pretty like intense solitude while I just lock in and build shit over, you know, the next chapter of the business and everything, just chapter of life in general. So kind of sad to be leaving Asia, but at the same time, when you run a business that requires you to hop on calls and stuff here and there, and like you're in an opposite time zone and you have to do that in the middle of the night, like that can get pretty annoying and irritating. Like I'll sleep in till like 2 p.m. here because I'm up until like 4, 5, or 6 a.m. in the morning, just like, you know, working on stuff. Sometimes it's work, sometimes it's not, but you know, it is what it is. It's you know, kind of hard to travel in Asia when you just run that kind of business. And so it's a little sad to leave. Definitely going to come back. I would probably rate Thailand like a 10 out of 10. Bali also 10 out of 10. I mean, there's like these little pros and cons, but like this side of the world is so cool. And I recommend that everybody comes to Southeast Asia. This place is the shit. So this is it. Packing the suitcase, packing the backpack and everything. And yeah, I guess we're back to America.
All this money on the floor, 10 racks, throw it up, watch how I do